Please have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. And as you can see right there, we are live. Tonight was the last debate before Democratic voting starts in February. So after 2 years of campaigning, 7 debates, 28 Democratic candidates, and one truly exhausted husk of a late-night host, we have made it to almost starting the election. Remind me to pick up some Boniva. Thank you. Now, with the caucuses right around the corner, tonight's debate took place in Des Moines, Iowa. And you know what they say about Des Moines. Please say something about Des Moines. It's really lovely. It's really a lovely place. Really lovely. Love it. There was controversy because tonight was the first time in this election cycle that the Democrats had an all-white debate stage. Once again, J-Lo was robbed. Joe Biden has been under attack lately for his 2002 vote to authorize the Iraq War. So tonight, he came out and admitted he was wrong.
I said 13 years ago it was a mistake to give the president the authority to go to war.
Okay, you got to give him credit. He took responsibility for his actions and did not hide behind Barack
Obama picked me to be his vice president.
And 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Not bad. Then Mayor Pete weighed in on the Iraq War.
There are enlisted people that I served with, barely old enough to remember those votes on the authorization after 9/11, on the war in Iraq. And there are people now old enough to enlist who were not alive for some of those debates.
And there are people on this stage old enough to take me to an R-rated movie. Come on, I want to see Uncut Gems. I hear Sandler kills it.
Yeah, Lakeith, Ben.
Amy Klobuchar's first question was about her previous attacks on Mayor Pete's lack of experience.
I've been very clear that I respect the mayor's experience very much in the military. I just have different experience.
Specifically, I have the experience of losing to the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. He'll never know that kind of humiliation. As the war debate went on, Bernie provided some historical context.
The two great foreign policy disasters of our lifetimes were the war in Vietnam and the war in Iraq. Both of those wars were based on lies.
We need to stop heading into wars. We cannot win in the Middle East. That's what I told Congress in 2002. It's what I told my friend Richard the Lionheart in 1191. We need to negotiate with Saladin over the partition of the Holy Land. Then Senator Klobuchar spoke of visiting a worker at a dyeing factory.
I went to this plant, and there was one worker left in that plant. That worker brought out a coat rack of uniforms, and he said, "These are my friends."
And I made that man a promise that I would give him anything he wanted if he just let me out of the room. And his friends can come with me. Do your friends have names?
Get out!
Klobuchar also brought out a local example of women succeeding in politics.
Kansas has a woman governor right now, and she beat Chris Kobach. And her name is, I'm very proud to know her, and her name is Governor Kelly. Thank you.
I am so proud to call her a friend, and I know her, and she is known to me, and she is known by her name, of course, and her name, which I am coming to. And shall I say the name? Do you want me to say here? It's Kelly. It's Kelly. One of her names is Kelly. It's either her first name, or it's her last name, or her favorite color. Thank you. Kelly. Now,
You missed that one on there.
Big story heading into the debate tonight was the falling out between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. See, last night, news leaked that Bernie Sanders evidently told Elizabeth Warren in a private 2018 meeting that a woman can't win the presidency. Now, Bernie's denied it, but Warren said that among the topics that came up was what would happen if Democrats nominated a female candidate. I thought a woman could win. He disagreed. Well, that's a real he said, she said, he said what he just said he didn't say.
He did.
So it came as no surprise when Bernie was asked about it.
Senator Sanders. CNN reported yesterday that, and Senator Warren confirmed in a statement, that in 2018, you told her that you did not believe that a woman could win the election. Why did you say that?
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't say it. And I don't want to waste a whole lot of time on this. Anybody knows me, knows that it's incomprehensible that I would think that a woman could not be president of the United States. Go to YouTube today.
Yes. If you want to see Bernie say nice things about female presidential candidates, go to YouTube. If you want to see his supporters saying terrible things about them, go to the comment section. So, that's it.
Oh.
That's it. There it is. Bernie categorically denied the charge, and then it was time for Warren to get a question.
Senator Sanders, I do want to be clear here. You're saying that you never told Senator Warren that a woman could not win the election.
That is correct.
Senator Warren, what did you think when Senator Sanders told you a woman could not win the election?
Who wrote these questions? Andy Cohen, Senator Warren, I will give you an opportunity now to throw wine in Bernie's face and snatch this bitch's wig off. Okay? Do you wanna? We'll be right back. Then Senator Warren brought down the hammer.
Look at the men on this stage. Collectively, they have lost 10 elections. The only people on this stage who have won every single election that they've been in are the women.
Wow.
Ooh, come on with that burner.
Not only have they lost 10 elections, now they lost their balls to Elizabeth Warren. Unbelievable. Just put them in a little zip pouch. Warren specifically said that she was the only one on stage who beat a Republican incumbent in the last 30 years. And that's when Grammy and Grandpa really started to mix it up.
Just to set the record straight, I defeated an incumbent Republican running for Congress.
When?
1990. That's how I won, beat a Republican congressman. Number two, of course, I don't.
Fight! Do math, fight. Show your work, pencils down. Why isn't Yang here? That's what he does. Now, Joe Biden talked about his power to bring the biggest coalitions together.
The real issue is who can bring the whole party together. It represents all elements of the party. African Americans, brown, black, women, men, gay, straight.
Women, men, gay, straight, tops, bottoms, pitchers, catchers. All in a giant sweaty coalition of freedom.
Oh, my goodness.
At one point, Bernie listed all the benefits of Medicare for All.
Let us be clear what Medicare for All does. It ends all premiums. It ends all copayments. It ends the absurdity of deductibles. It ends out-of-pocket expenses. It takes on the pharmaceutical industry.
What can take the sunrise? Sprinkle it with dew. Cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two. My Medicare plan, 'cause I wrote the damn bill. Now, Joe Biden, you remember Joe Biden, our friend Joe, also talked up his healthcare bona fides.
I would argue that the biggest breakthrough in recent time was us being able to do in our administration what five Democratic presidents couldn't get done, and that is pass Obamacare.
He's right. Shame on President Truman for never once mentioning Obamacare. Come on, Harry. Then Mayor Pete moved it on to climate change.
Climate change has come to America from coast to coast.
Coast to coast, or as it will be called in 20 years, Cincinnati to Denver. Now, also with Buttigieg, late in the debate, Buttigieg faced a tough question.
Mayor Buttigieg, you say you've had trouble earning the support of black voters because you're unknown, but you've been campaigning for a year now. Is it possible that black voters have gotten to know you and have simply decided to choose another candidate?
Follow-up question, are you going to cry? Go ahead, squirt them if you're going to cry. Turn on the water. No? Okay. Now, up until tonight, CNN has been heavily promoting this debate as the last time to hear from the Democratic candidates before the Iowa caucus. But those 6 candidates on stage aren't the only Democrats still in the race. And CNN had plenty of coverage for the other candidates, too. Just check out their promo.
Tuesday night, Biden, Sanders, Warren, Buttigieg, Klobuchar, Steyer, all on stage in Des Moines, Iowa for the CNN Democratic presidential debate. But that's not all. CNN has exclusive coverage of every candidate, even the ones that didn't qualify, like John Delaney outside the auditorium staring longingly through the window, Andrew Yang at a nearby frat arm wrestling a manufacturing robot for $1,000, Michael Bennett and Deval Patrick sharing a trench coat to split a single ticket to Jumanji, Tulsi Gabbard standing alone in a cornfield, ominously waiting. What's going on? Why is she in there? Not the field, I mean the race. Like, what's going on with that? And Michael Bloomberg in the Late Show green room filling his pockets with free sandwiches. You're a billionaire, sir. Control yourself. Only CNN.
We got a great show for you tonight. Mayor Bloomberg is here.